Hello students, welcome to Short Obsessed classes. So in today's video we'll be solving UGC-NET. We'll be solving UGC-NET 2016 July paper. So we'll be today solving paper number 3. So first I'll start with question number 1. So in question number 1 it is given full demographic dividend will be realized when government promotes. 4 options are given as you can see. So full demographic dividend will be realized when government promotes. Out of these 4 options we have to select the right one. More social security, more skill development, more intensive growth and more capital market. So out of these 4, so first of all we need to understand that is what is demographic dividend. So first we have to remember the concept of demographic dividend basically connotes the gains in economic growth as a result of increase in share of working age people in the population in relation to children and aged who are considered a part of the non-working population. Such a situation emerges when a country experiences a rapid reduction in fertility leading to a decline in the child population. Put simply, a demographic dividend occurs when a falling birth rate changes the age distribution so that the needs of the youngest young age groups are met through employment and resources that are realized for investment in economic development and family welfare. So there has been a decline in fertility indicating that the country is experiencing a demographic dividend. So first of all we need to understand what is demographic dividend. So for this I'll take another page to explain what is demographic dividend. So demographic dividend is what? Gains in economic growth. So it is basically says gains in economic growth. So gains in economic growth as a result of increase in the share of working as a result of increase in the population in relation to the children and the aged. So what it basically says is that who are considered a part of the non-working population. So increase in the population in relation to the people, that is children and aged group people who are non-working. So such a situation emerges when a country experiences a rapid reduction in fertility. So this happens when a country experiences rapid reduction in fertility leading to a decline in child population. So it happens when country experiences a rapid reduction in fertility leading to a decline in the child population. So in this case, so if we put simply, a demographic dividend occurs. So a demographic dividend occurs when a falling birth rate changes the age distribution. So the falling changes the age distribution. So a falling birth rate changes the age distribution so that the needs of the youngest age groups are met through employments and resources that are realized for investment in economic development and family welfare. So, made through employment and resources that are realized for environment. So, again we have to remember that demographic dividend relates to India having the world's youngest workforce. So, India is having world's youngest. So India is having what? India is having world's youngest workforce. So again we have to remember this is needed to meet the skilled manpower requirement of the Indian of world. So now we'll simply have an idea of the understanding of demographic dividend. Now we'll look into the question. Full demographic dividend will be realized when government promotes 4 options are given: more social security, more skill development, more intensive growth, and more capital market. So out of these 4 we just talked about it. The right answer would be more skill development, because we know that is the demographic dividend in India needs to be exploited not only to expand the production possibility frontier, but also to meet the skilled manpower requirements of India and world. So we would conclude, so for question number 1, the right answer would be option 3. Now we'll go to the next question, which is question number 2. So in question number 2, it is given which one of the following is true for general fertility rate. So again we need to understand what is general fertility rate. So general fertility rate is what? General fertility rate is the number of births per 1000 women of reproductive ages. So general fertility rate is the number of births per 1000 women of reproductive age. So general fertility rate is what? The number of births per 1000 women of reproductive age. Now the number of women childbearing age is taken as a base for calculating the birth rate instead of the total population. This method is improvement over CBR as it takes into account only the population in the reproductive age group, that is only the females in the age group of 15 to 49. So it only takes the female women who are into the age group of 15 to 49. So what it says, since it's only these females who can bear children. So now this general fertility rate ratio is the ratio of total yearly registered births to the population of women childbearing age. So this is the total number of births per 1000 of women. So we have 4 options given. It is an actual measure of fertility, it is a potential measure of fertility, it is an actual measure of female population composition, and it is based on hypothetical age specific birth rate profile. So we have 4 options, out of which we need to find out the right option. So we know for this, for question number 2, the right answer for this would be option B, that is it is a potential measure of fertility. So general fertility rate is a potential measure of fertility. So for question number 2, the right answer is option 3. So for 1 it was 3, for 2 it was 2, sorry, for 2 it was 2. Now we'll come to the next question, which is question number 3. So in question number 3 it is given which among the following curve is used to depict the long run behavior of population growth. So which among the following curves used to depict the long run behavior of population growth? So we have 4 options: normal curve, exponential curve, logistic curve, and ogive, out of which we need to give the right answer. So we have to understand one thing: the first major scientific challenge to Malthusian doctrine as a pattern of population growth appeared in 1830s work of Verhulst. In 1839, Verhulst proposed that population normally grow in a much more orderly fashion than proposed by Malthus. So what did he said? What did Verhulst say? That is, population grow in a much more systematic pattern than what proposed by Malthus. So describing that growth rate a curve of S-shaped population. So he said the growth rate is a basically what? S-shaped population. So this became known as logistic theory of population growth. So this became known as logistic theory of population growth. The logistic theory asserted that the population have a slow initial growth rate. Population has a slow initial growth rate, and you can see, but which increases exponentially until it reaches a maximum and become progressively less as population approaches an upper limit of its growth. So again I'll repeat what is. So we know for this reason the right answer would be option 2. Now what is logistic curve? It was proposed by whom? It was proposed by Verhulst in 1839. So it was proposed by whom? It was proposed by Verhulst. So it was proposed by Verhulst in 1839. So what did he say? Verhulst basically proposed that population normally grow in a much more orderly fashion than proposed by Malthus, describing in their growth a curve of S-shaped population. So he basically described a curve of S-shaped population. That what did he say? That is, logistic theory asserted that population have, so basically population increases slow initial growth rate which increases exponentially until it reaches maximum, and then again it falls. So for this we know for question number 3 the right answer would be option 2. So in today's video we solved question number 1, 2, 3. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any query or doubt, you can simply WhatsApp me on this number, which is 9836 793076, or you can also go to our website, which is www.shourabsirsclasses.com. There you will find a lot of other videos like this, and you will also get to see a lot of other materials which are needed for different entrance exam. So thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day ahead.